Snake? Snake in the garden? If you find a snake in your garden, what will you do? What will your parents do? Let them also live in the earth because nature abounds with plants, trees, insects, animals, birds, etc. Aren't the animals and birds have the same right as we have to live in this earth? Yes, they have the right and they also are the inhabitants of the earth. Today, we learn about an interesting story by R.K. Narayan. The name of the story is A Snake in the Grass. So, good morning, students. Shall we begin? The Snake in the Grass. It's by R.K. Narayan. Now, let's learn about the author. R.K. Narayan, Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Narayan, 1906 to 2001, was one of the most accomplished and well-known Indian writers in English. He was awarded with the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1960. We find realism, irony, and humor in his works. He paints the foolish acts of people in the most artistic and psychological way, hitting mercilessly on it. His expression very well touches the sentiments of the reader. He wrote a number of books. His literary production includes The Guide, Next Sunday, and Lowly Road. A Snake in the Grass is a satirical story taken from An Astrologer's Day and Other Stories. And his famous work is The Malgudi Days. So, let's begin the story A Snake in the Grass. One afternoon, the members of a family were taking rest inside the house. A cyclist rang the bell of her cycle, clink clink, and announced that he had seen a snake entering the compound of the house. Making announcement, he followed his way. The family, consisting of a mother and her 4 sons, assembled at the gate after listening to it. They found their old servant Dasa sleeping in the shed. They woke him up and made him know about the entry of the snake in the compound of their bungalow. The servant tried to ignore the matter. They forced him to search the cobra. They threatened him to dismiss if he failed to trace the snake out. Some neighbors too gathered there and charged the servant with being lazy. The servant defended himself, saying his regular demand of a grass cutter machine. They talked over it and its price for a while. In the meantime, a college boy of the family came in. He read out the statistical data he collected about the death of the people due to snake biting. The boys of the family brought in bamboo sticks and pressed into the hands of the servants also. They worked with the creepers, bushes and everything in the garden, but they could not find the snake. When there was nothing more he done, the servant asked triumphantly where the snake was. In the meantime, an old she-beggar cried at the gate for alms. They asked her not to disturb as they were hunting a snake. Hearing this, the old woman announced it to be Subramania's forbade its killing. Mother agreed to her statement, remembering her promised Abhishekam. She gave a coin to the old woman. Shortly, an old man appeared at the gate and announced himself as a snake charmer. They gathered around him. He narrated the story of his victories over snakes. They asked him to catch the cobra, but helplessly he said to them that he could not do anything unless they show him where the cobra was. He gave them his name and address and asked him to call if they see the snake. At 5 in the evening, they threw sticks and started talking about their strategy to meet the critical situation. In the meantime, the old servant appeared with a pot in his hand and declared that he caught the snake. The servant bragged about his bravery and asked them not to blame him again, calling a dull and idle. He talked to hand over the snake to the snake charmer who was living nearby. The mother appreciated him and he went away. But it was 5 5 minutes later, since Dasa had gone, when the youngest son cried, "See there, a cobra out of a hole in the compound!" It paused for a moment to look at the gathering and then crawled under the gate and disappeared along a drain. A mystery remained whether there were two snakes there or not. If not, what was in the pot the servant has gone out with? Had they checked the pot, it would have been cleared. So, how was the story? Did you like the story?